Moving on, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has emplaced for a crucial visit to the United Kingdom with the formal signing of the landmark India-UK Free Trade Agreement that is expected to be the centerpiece of his two-day visit. The Prime Minister will hold wide-ranging talks with the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and is also scheduled to meet King Charles III during his two-day visit to United Kingdom. Keir Starmer is set to host him at Chequers, the British Prime Minister's official country residence in London. Several sectors across the two nations are set to benefit from India-UK FTA that aims to boost economic ties by reducing or eliminating tariffs, easing market access and encouraging investment and collaboration on multiple sectors. Textiles and apparel and gems and jewellery are some of the top sectors that stand to gain from this agreement for India. All eyes are on the Prime Minister's fourth visit to UK since he took office in 2014. How will the two nations reach the $130 billion trade target by 2030 is something that the free trade agreement is going to bring both countries closer to achieving this target. Let's start off our conversation. Joining me on the telecast is I am right now being joined by Dr. Jaijeet Bhattacharya. Jaijeet Bhattacharya, thank you for joining me. And my first question, of course, is, this deal that had, it took 4 years for it to be signed. And there were a number of these official level, trade representative level conversations, dialogues. There was a lot of back and forth that was done by Piyush Goyal. Of course, the UK representatives who also traveled to India. But finally, the deal has been signed, it has been formalized. How does this impact India-UK trade relationship?
Very, very significantly. This is a landmark free trade agreement. In fact, all future FTAs will also have this agreement as a benchmark. So when we get into the EU-India FTA, the India-UK FTA kind of will become a benchmark, and therefore whatever we gain or whatever we lose in this FTA gets replicated and amplified in the subsequent FTAs. The trade between India and UK is over 55 billion pounds, and that's a very significant amount of trade that's going on. With this agreement, we'll see a significant impact on what India can import from UK at low tariffs. In fact, UK's imports to India was getting taxed at somewhere around 80% to 100%, depending on what we're talking about. Alcoholic beverages were being taxed at 150%. Now it's going to go down to about 40% in the next 10 years, from 150% to 40%. Similarly, the import of cars from UK is going to come down the tariff will be coming down from 100% to 10%. So all the fancy cars like the Aston Martin, the Jaguar Land Rover and so on will be significantly more cheaper than what it used to be earlier. We have seen the commotion around Teslas imported from US having a large tax component, and that's the tax component which will be going down for UK made cars. But you can't import a unlimited number of cars. There will be a quota system put into place. And therefore, we will be able to open up significant competition coming from luxury cars coming from UK. More importantly, 99% of Indian products will be able to enter into the UK market with zero duty. And that's a huge win for India. This agreement seems to be very well thought out from an Indian perspective. And it's going to bring a lot of benefit for Indian companies, especially in textiles and apparel, especially in footwear, and even automobiles and EVs. The likes of Tatas, Mahindras, even two-wheelers like Ather and Bajaj, they will all be able to access the UK market much more efficiently than what they were able to do earlier. A lot of engineering companies like Bharat Forge, L&T, and so on and so forth will also be able to access the UK market in an unprecedented manner. So although the British believe that the FTA is going to lead to an increase of about 4.8 billion pounds for their GDP, I believe it will be much more, given the fact that a lot of their infrastructure can now be built with Indian help at a much lower cost. Much of the consumer goods can now be procured at a much lower cost. Also, one of the very progressive elements of this agreement, and I believe it's probably a first of its kind, at least for India, is the fact that there is a mobility involved, which means that you can actually send people to UK on short-term visas, and they don't need to pay any social security
Yeah, yes,
contribution.
absolutely.